I was the best man at his wedding. I stood by his side, tied his bow tie, handed him the rings, kept him from passing out before the ceremony. When he teared up as his bride walked down the aisle, I clapped him on the back and said, "You did good, man." Later, I gave the toast. Told everyone how Liam was like a brother to me. How we'd lived through crappy dorms, failed midterms, ex-girlfriends, and an entire summer powered solely by Red Bull and frozen burritos. How I knew Emily was the one the moment he stopped calling me at 1 a.m. to rant about dating apps. People laughed, clinked glasses, even Emily got teary-eyed, and Liam? He smiled at me like I was the one person in the world who truly understood him. And for years I thought I did, until I found out I wasn't his first choice, not even as best man. My name's Jordan. I'm 29. I met Liam at 18. First day of college, second floor, end of the hallway. He was blasting music through tiny plastic speakers and trying to hang a shelf with duct tape. I walked by with a stack of textbooks and made some sarcastic comment about his engineering skills. He laughed, offered me a beer. That was it. We were roommates, then friends, then best friends without ever really saying it out loud. We stuck close even after school. Both ended up in Atlanta. He worked in consulting. I got into the digital marketing. We didn't talk every day, but when it mattered, we showed up. So when Liam told me he was proposing to Emily, I was all in. I liked her. She was thoughtful, organized, a little controlling, sure, but she balanced him out. She brought structure to his chaos, and when he asked me to be best man, I said yes without hesitation. The wedding was everything they wanted. Classy, intimate, outdoors with twinkle lights and soft music, the kind of wedding you see in lifestyle blogs and Pinterest boards. He cried during the vows. She whispered something that made him laugh. The guests smiled like they were watching a movie they already knew the ending to, and I stood next to him, proud. But that pride didn't last. 2 months after the wedding, he called. Out of nowhere. Middle of the workday. His voice was low, flat. "Can you talk?" I said sure. He didn't waste time. I think I made a mistake. I asked him what happened. He said, "I love Emily. I do, but I was waiting for someone else to stop me. I thought maybe she'd show up, or call, or anything." "Who?" I asked, even though I knew. Sophie, his ex, the girl he never quite got over. They broke up 3 years before Emily. They were messy, passionate, all in, all out. She was the only one who ever left him on his knees, metaphorically and literally. He always told me it was for the best, that they were toxic, but he never stopped bringing her up. Even after she left, even when he was with Emily. He told me he sent Sophie a letter a week before the wedding, poured it all out. Told her if she still felt anything to say something, anything, text, call, show up. She didn't. So he married Emily. And I realized then I wasn't his best man because I knew him best. I was there because he needed a stand-in, someone to play the role, someone to smile and hold the ring and give a toast about love, while he waited for the woman who didn't show. The one he really wanted beside him that day wasn't me, and it wasn't Emily either. After that phone call, I couldn't see him the same way. He moved on like nothing happened. Like he hadn't just told me he'd only married Emily because Sophie never answered his letter. Like he hadn't admitted, out loud, that he was hoping someone else would stop the wedding. And me? I was supposed to pretend it didn't matter. We still texted, still talked, sometimes. But I was different. Shorter replies, fewer jokes. I started dodging invites, skipped happy hours, ignored "hey, you free" texts, and he didn't push. Didn't ask what was wrong, which honestly just made it worse. Then one day he dropped it, a casual message. "Emily's pregnant. Don't tell anyone yet." I stared at the screen for 5 full minutes. Pregnant. She was building a future with a man who had literally begged someone else to come stop the ceremony. And he never told her. I didn't know what to do with that. I couldn't stop thinking about her vows, about the way she looked at him, eyes shining like she'd never loved anyone more, and he was standing there watching the door, waiting for Sophie. Some nights I'd lie awake thinking, should I say something? Should I tell Emily what I knew? Would it help? Would it ruin her life? Or save it? Or was I just trying to relieve my own guilt? Then Liam called again, said he needed to talk. We met at a bar we used to love back in college. It felt smaller now, dimmer. Like the past didn't fit the present anymore. He looked off, tired, pale, unshaven. Not like a new dad, like someone unraveling quietly. We got drinks, sat in silence for a while. Then he said it. "I've been thinking about Sophie again." I didn't react, didn't flinch, didn't respond, because what could I say? He kept going. "She's engaged. I saw it online, but I don't know, man. It hit me harder than I expected. Like maybe that door really is closed now, and maybe it was the only one that mattered." I stared at him, and for the first time in our friendship, I didn't know who I was talking to. Not the guy who used to prank our RA. Not the guy who let me crash on his couch when I lost my job. Not the guy I stood beside at his wedding. This was someone else. Someone lost. He looked up, eyes red, asked, "Do you think I made a mistake?" I didn't answer. Because yes. Yes, he had. And then he asked something else. "You think I'm a bad person?" I opened my mouth, then closed it again. Because in that moment, I realized the scariest part wasn't that he was becoming someone I didn't recognize. It was that he didn't recognize himself anymore either. He paid and left, or didn't say goodbye, or didn't hug me. Just walked out into the night. And for the first time, I didn't follow. It wasn't me who told Emily. I had the chance. More than once. But I kept quiet. And Liam? He got careless. It started with a comment. Emily posted a baby bump photo on Instagram. Sunlight through the window, hand resting gently over her belly. Captioned it, "You already made me fall in love twice." Typical mom-to-be post. Sweet, glowing. Most of the comments were hearts and congratulations. But one caught my eye. Funny how Plan B turned into Plan A. No name, no picture, no context. It got deleted minutes later. But by then the damage was done. 2 days later, Emily called me. Not Liam. Her. She sounded composed. Too composed. "Hey Jordan, can I ask you something?" I stepped outside. "Of course." She didn't waste time. "Did Liam still have feelings for Sophie when we got married?" Silence. I didn't lie, but I didn't speak fast enough either. And that was enough. She let out a breath. Tight. Like she'd been holding it in too long, and said, "Thanks," click. That night, I couldn't sleep. I stared at the ceiling thinking, this is where it all starts to collapse. And it did. I heard from a mutual friend a few days later. Liam moved out, said Emily asked for time, said it wasn't about a fight, more like a pause, a space between breaths that felt final. He texted me once, 3 words, "You told her." I stared at the message. Felt that old ache, that tension between loyalty and truth. I replied, "No, but I didn't lie either." He never wrote back. He was still going to doctor's appointments, still bringing groceries to the house. But he looked different, drawn, disconnected, like someone going through the motions of a life he wasn't fully in anymore. Like he was grieving a choice he made with eyes wide open. I saw him once, by accident. We crossed paths in the park. He was alone, just walking. We made eye contact. He nodded, I nodded, and then we kept walking. Just 2 strangers who used to know everything about each other. I thought I'd feel angry, or justified. But all I felt was tired. Tired of carrying someone else's secret. Tired of watching the people I love hurt each other. Tired of pretending everything would go back to normal. Because it won't. Not for them, not for me. And maybe that's what betrayal really is. Not the breaking, but the knowing. The quiet moment when the people you trusted show you who they really are. And you still hope they're wrong. 3 months passed. I didn't hear from Liam. Didn't reach out either. Emily unfollowed me on everything, which, hurt more than I expected. But I understood. Even if I hadn't been the one to tell her, I was the one who knew. The one who said nothing. There's no way to come back from that clean. Word got around that the baby was born in late spring. A girl. They named her Lily. I saw it in a photo someone else shared. Liam holding her, eyes puffy, hair messy, trying to smile. He looked like a man who had just realized the life he wanted was gone, and the life he had, he didn't know how to hold on to it. I thought about texting him. Just a simple congrats. But every time I picked up my phone, I'd hear that voicemail in my head. "You told her." So I didn't. And he didn't either. A few weeks later, I ran into him at a grocery store. We were 2 aisles apart before we noticed. I was holding a frozen pizza. He had baby wipes and formula. For a second, we just stood there, looking at each other. He nodded first, I nodded back, and just when I was about to walk away, he said, "She's doing okay." I turned. "Emily?" He shook his head. "Lily." Then he smiled, sort of. The tired kind of smile that doesn't quite reach your eyes. "I'm trying," he added. I didn't ask at what, because I already knew. I walked out that day feeling nothing, honestly. No anger, no sadness, just clarity, like I'd finally stopped hoping things would go back to what they were. We haven't spoken since. I still don't know if he ever told Emily about the letter, or if she just pieced it together from all the silence, all the distance, all the things that didn't add up, but I think she knew. I think she always knew something wasn't quite right. She just didn't want to see it. None of us did. A few months later, I moved out of the city. New job, new apartment, new everything. Fresh start, I guess, but sometimes on quiet nights, I still think about that wedding. The candles, the music, the way Liam looked when Emily walked toward him. He looked overwhelmed, emotional. Everyone thought it was love. But now, I wonder if it was guilt. I still have the photo. Me and him in tuxes, arms over each other's shoulders, laughing, best man and groom, both pretending we hadn't already lost something we couldn't get back.